How's it going, lads? Bringing you another gameplay against HinaMizawa from my stream the other day, and I thought I'd bring along a couple of new ones. I got Kadabra there, which is sort of a sub-disable set I thought I'd try out, and the Luxray I've been trying out for a few different games. It is getting more and more useful the more I use it. I swear to God, this Luxray has saved me many a time. But it was a great game, and you know, looking at her team, I guess the main threats are going to be the Pyrotoz and the Vileplume. I say threats in the sense that they're impossible to kill. They don't really do much damage, but that is a core I need to break down before I do any real damage to the team, you know? So, first turn, Floatzel versus my Luxray. I did not predict this, but I thought that Luxray was a good lead nonetheless. It's a Choice Scarfer, it has Intimidate, and it is specially based. Not the best way of using Luxray, but I kind of like it. I mean, obviously, if you want the most damage, you want to use the physical variant, but I think Volt Switch, T-Bolt, HP Ice, and Superpower just as like a filler move kind of works pretty well. I don't know. But I know there's no point in trying to attack with Flareon while this Lampent is still around because it literally completely walls my set. So I switch out, go to Krokorok, go for the EQ, which Cacturne takes really well, obviously. And honestly, like, I used to have Guts on this thing, but Intimidate comes in handy so often, you'd be surprised. HP Ice on this thing, and I think she leaves it in this turn, expecting me to either switch up moves or predict her switch to something else, but I thought I'd make the obvious play there and just go for another HP Ice, which is all fine and dandy. One layer of spikes, that's all that's up. That is absolutely fine by me. In comes Pyrotoz. I am going to go into my Krokorok as she pulls a double into the Vileplume, which was an excellent play. Here's what I don't get. I stay in here, go for Stealth Rocks next turn because I figured I just want Rocks up. And she switches. I don't know why. Maybe predicting another switch into... What would I even have to take that hit? Maybe Flareon on that turn she predicted? But I just thought, I'd rather get at Rocks and just let, what do you call it, Krokorok die if I have to, but... Yep, next turn I go into my Luxray because I don't really feel like going to my, I think it's Tentacle as my special war. You know what, honestly, I don't remember, but Luxray seemed the best thing to take the hit because of Intimidate, and then obviously I can Volt Switch out if I need to. In comes this, Nigel Thornberry, which seems to keep turning up in all of my uploads for some reason, but... Yep, just gonna Volt Switch out, go into my Krokorok once again because I can do some big damage, yeah boy. Go for that big EQ, and it turns out that is not big damage because Vileplume is a beast. So, I'd assume this thing's physically defensive and the Pyrotoz especially defensive, so I guess I gotta bear that in mind. Vileplume can run either in my opinion. Button pass out because, like I said, Lampent's still around. She does go to Gardevoir this time, which probably was predicting my Baton Pass, because there's no way you'd bring it in on like a Facade or something, so you know, go to Kenny because I know I can take any hit barring a size shock and just go for the rapid spin. I don't really care about Kenny living or dying, it doesn't matter. I get tricked to Choice Scarf, which is not great but not terrible because, like I said, Kenny is the dead weight on the team if anything. It'd have been great if I went to Krokorok on that turn, that would have been awesome, but... Yeah, what can you do? Go to Fu Manchu.
This is my baton!
Who is my sub-disable, awesome, double-attacking Kadabra thing, which... I figured people do it on Haunter, so, you know, why not try it on Kadabra as well? Kadabra's faster, and I think it's... I don't think it has as much special attack, and it doesn't have the, like, 3 immunities or whatever that Haunter has, so... You know, maybe Haunter does it better, but I like Kadabra, and the fact you have Magic Guard means that if they switch up to, like, Toxic or... I don't know, Will-O-Wisp when they predict you'll disable, you're not taking any damage from it, so it works in my opinion. Go to Kenny, take the Flamethrower, and this turn I think I expected a switch into something else. I didn't think she'd stay in here, but she goes for Pain Split, which is even better. I gained back that big 1 HP, and I can now just freely Volt Switch on whatever I want. I think it was Vileplume. No, it wouldn't have been Vileplume. Floatzel, I'll say Floatzel I predicted earlier. But regardless, go for the Volt Switch, do a little bit of damage. All that chip damage is, you know, gonna help in the long run, hopefully. Go into Fu Manchu once again, because Kadabra is definitely a big-ass threat in NU. Honestly, people don't use it enough. And people always run the Focus Sash thing. I reckon that if... See, here's my idea for a set, right? Kadabra with Eviolite, Barrier, and then like 2 attacks and recover. Would that work? Would that be any good? I don't know. I think Sub-Disable works better, but... Now I switch, I do not want to take an attack from Floatzel, and I am 95% sure that Floatzel is faster. So I go to Kenny as fodder, but she makes a good play, goes for the baton pass, straight back into Gardevoir, which will easily be able to take out Kenny because I have no Eviolite left, so... Oops, rest in peace, poor Kenny, you did well, not really. Vileplume kind of cock-blocked Kenny a bit there with the T-spikes and whatnot, but... what can you do? Go back to Luxray. Luxray, of course, one of the... I think Luxray is honestly the star player of this game. Didn't really do too much damage, but it's more the fact that it forced the switches, so, you know, the passive damage from Stealth Rocks and whatnot. And actually, to be fair, Luxray has, like, base 80 or something, like 79 in both defenses. That's just sort of a guess off the top of my head, but it's actually really bulky for a sweeper, you know? What it lacks in speed, it makes up for with decent bulk, so once you intimidate something, you can easily use it to take a hit, which is why I think it's pretty good as like a pivot Pokemon. So I go for Knockoff. This is my defensive Mawile, and I get absolutely wrecked by an Earth Power. Lucky I did go for the Knockoff, because Specs Probopass, don't mess. And, you know, there's little else for me to do here apart from just go for a Seismic Toss. Get a bit more damage on it, whatever. It doesn't really matter if Mawile goes down. I don't think I have Stealth Rocks on this, which is why I bought Krokorok as well. This is like Pain Split, Seismic Toss, Metal Burst, and... God, I don't know. Roar? Iron Head? Something like that. But now I do go to Krokorok, and she doesn't really have anything which she wants to switch into the Earthquake, so just lets Probopass die. And obviously, since she's seen that I'm not Choice Scarfed or something, she can now go straight to the Floatzel and threaten me out. I think there's still use for this thing, potentially against Gardevoir, so I am going to switch out into Flareon, because Flareon is not going to be any use, because Floatzel 9 times out of 10 is going to have Aqua Jet, you know? I've seen Baton Pass, but I would suspect Aqua Jet and Ice Punch as the last moves. Something like that. Go back to Luxray, just going to go for the T-Bolt on whatever comes in. I ain't even worried, because even Gardevoir gets 2-hit killed by it. And Gardevoir's not a threat, honestly. I have Krokorok, so unless it has Focus Blast, which it might do, I should be pretty safe. T-Bolt, good damage. Another T-Bolt's going to take it down. I am Scarfed, obviously, which is why I'm outspeeding. The problem is, Floatzel is going to come in next. And Floatzel, I think, she said this to me afterwards, I didn't actually realise this, but apparently Floatzel outspeeds a neutral nature Scarf Luxray, so I think I sort of had that in my mind at the time, so I got a Krokorok just in case, so that I can get the Intimidate off when I come back in. So yeah, go to Krokorok, then I go to Kadabra for whatever unknown reason. There was really no point in this. Go to Kadabra just to try and go for a Psychic. And you can see the Floatzel outspeeds Kadabra, and she could have easily killed me there, but I think she just said she gave up at this point and just randomly clicked Taunt. And to be fair, it would have outsped my Luxray, so there was a chance that Waterfall could have killed. I didn't properly damage calc it, but Waterfall on a Luxray after -1 would still do pretty decent damage, so it would have been close either way, that's the point. So, by that logic, it was a very good game, in my opinion. Could have gone either way. The Taunt thing was really random at the end, but what can you do? Luxray should have pulled it through for me, in my opinion. So, hope you all enjoyed. Good game, HinaMizawa. And with that being said, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.